Oh, hey everyone, it's Dave Barnett with the investlocalbook.com blog site, author of Invest Local and Franchise Warnings, which of course you should read if you want to become smarter about small business and local investing affairs. I wanted to talk a little bit today about a conversation that I had with a young woman recently about sales. And and I haven't written a lot about sales, but I've always been in professional business-to-business sales my whole working career. And her issue, and she's an entrepreneur, she owns a company, her biggest hang-up was asking for a certain amount of money or stating the price. This was her biggest hang-up. And I asked her a couple of questions. Number one, does the solution you are proposing solve their problem? So the question is, are you delivering value to them? Are you solving their problem? And she said yes, it did. It solved their problem. And then I asked her what was her biggest fear in delivering the price. And she admitted that her biggest fear was somehow damaging the relationship between her and the other person. So I then asked her another question. I said, do you believe that you are trading value for value? So your value in solving their problem in exchange for money? Or do you believe that they are somehow doing you a favor by hiring you? So are you coming from this from the point of view or the mindset that you are bringing a solution to their problem? Let me pause and tell a little story. My father-in-law has an auto repair business. And he had this same problem with one of his front counter employees. The person had some sort of mental block which made it very difficult for them to tell people or ask people for any amount of money over $1,000. So oil changes, minor repairs, replacing the starter, $600, whatever. None of that stuff, no problem whatsoever. As soon as the potential repair got over $1,000, this person had an incredible amount of difficulty telling people how much it was going to be. So setting expectations, which is very important in sales. You don't want to surprise someone, especially after work's already been done to their car. If they were thinking it was going to be $800 and they walk in and it's $1,500, some people may not have the money, right? So this guy, what he would do is if you walked in and your repair was going to be $1,500, is he would not tell you, or he would be very sheepish about it. He'd be like, yeah, I think it could be like $1,300. Like, he would immediately start discounting the estimate off the top. And then after the work had been done, he would go into the invoices and he would start discounting things to meet the expectation he had set. And so it was only something that my father-in-law discovered after almost a year, when he started to look through and examine sales and things, and he'd be like, why are we giving this guy a discount? I only give discounts to my, favorite son-in-law, and that kind of thing. And so this was the problem: is the guy had difficulty asking for money. My father-in-law's advice, what he said to this guy is, don't you understand that people come here because they know that they can solve their car problems simply by giving us money? And that is the mindset that you have to have in sales. You are not taking from people. They're not doing you a favor. Back to my first example, this girl, I asked her, are you happy or angry that Walmart sells children's rubber boots for $10? Think about this. Are you happy or angry that Walmart has rubber boots right there on the shelf for $10? Right? Because when your kids need rubber boots, this is a problem. And if you had to go and make them, for example, I can tell you it would be a lot of work. I have no idea how to make a rubber boot. I do, however, have some money. And for me to simply be able to go and hand over $10 to get my problem solved just like that makes me very happy. I am happy that Walmart sells rubber boots for children for $10. It solves a problem that I have usually every spring, right? You are in this to deliver value. Then I talked with her about the whole relationship thing. I said, people have relationships. Here's where you're blurring lines, because when you're out there doing business for your company, you are believing that you are a person. You're trying to be yourself. When in reality, when you're out there doing business on behalf of your company, you are not a person. You are a mouthpiece for the corporation. Corporations cannot have real relationships because corporations are not real people. When you go out and do business on behalf of your corporation with other corporations, so businesses doing business with other businesses, you do not have a relationship. You have a trading arrangement. Those other people, that other business has a problem that needs to be solved. She's in the software industry. So they have some sort of problem. They need, I don't know, whatever the software solution is. They need some data manipulated, managed, whatever. Her company can deliver this solution. If they don't get the problem fixed, it's going to be a worse problem for them, because they then won't be achieving their goals, they won't be hitting their numbers, they won't be hitting their profit targets, etc., if they don't get this problem solved. And if they can get the problem solved simply by giving you money, that's what you're there for. You're there to help them solve their problems. Anyway, she thanked me afterwards. It was a little bit of a readjustment in her thinking. I said, it's not a problem to develop a personal friendship with the person you happen to be dealing with. But you got to remember that when you're talking business, when you're talking on behalf of your business to them about their business, that you're not two people. You're two, corporations, and you are acting in the best interest of each of your parties, and they would never agree to write you the check. They would never agree to pay you unless you didn't deliver value to them that solved their problems and helped them get further ahead. Anyway, that was just a little recap of a pep talk I had with someone. If you ever want to talk to me directly and get some advice from me, more than happy to on my blog site, investlocalbook.com, and in the notes below the YouTube video, there is a link to a PayPal site where you can click and buy a 1-hour conversation with me. I'll then email you and arrange a time either on the phone or Skype, and any unused minutes, of course, get refunded. My books are all available on Amazon, and if you enjoy the content of my videos or my blog, please click subscribe and share them with people that you think might enjoy them as well. That's how I grow my audience, and I'm always looking for feedback from you. So remember, the blog site is investlocalbook.com. That's the central place where I share everything, interesting things I find online, and where I post all of my videos, and I've got things organized into pages so you can look through the back catalog of information quite easily. Also on YouTube there are playlists, so if you're ever looking for something to do or you want to expand your knowledge or mind, you can always run through one of my playlists. There's literally hours of fun content on YouTube. Anyway, have a great day, and I hope it's a beautiful spring day where you live. Talk to you later.